Hello my dear students, welcome to our English class. I hope all of you are doing fine, staying safe and happy at your home. Now, have you heard about Mowgli? Of course you have. What a silly question, right? All of us are familiar with the character of Mowgli and his friends. It is a collection of short stories written in 1984 by Rudyard Kipling. Now, can you tell me, just pause the video and tell me some of the characters in the story of Jungle Book? Of course, we know Mowgli. Any other characters that you are familiar with? Very good. There is Kaa, the snake, Bagheera, yes, Balu, of course, Sher Khan. Very good. Now, in our last class, I have given you a small homework. Can you remember it? What was the homework? Yes, I have asked you to find out examples for personification from movies or short stories, right? So, one of my students have sent the example of Jungle Book to me. So, I thought, why not take that example and explain or discuss it with all of you. The story of Jungle Book with all the characters, they are the perfect example of personification. Now, what is personification? It is attributing human feelings or emotions to inanimate objects, non-living things and animals, right? So, that is what we can see in Jungle Book, both in the story, the animated series and in film too. Now, I will show you some of the characters, of Jungle Book. Let's see whether you are able to identify. Okay, here goes the first character. Now, who is this character could be? Are you able to identify the character? Yes, Bagheera. It is Bagheera, right? Who is Bagheera? The Black Panther, who is the friend of Mowgli. Now, to another character. Who is this character? Who is this? Are you able to identify this character? Yes, it is Balu, the bear, right? Again, a great friend of Mowgli. Now, one more character left. Let's see whether you are able to identify. Who is this? Very good. It is Kaa, the python. Again, friend of Mowgli. So, all these characters, the character Balu, Kaa, Bagheera, even Sher Khan too, they are all examples of personification because human feelings and emotions, they are portrayed into that character, right? So, they are examples of personification. Now, I hope you have also done your homework and sent that to your school WhatsApp group. Have you done it? Very good. So, congratulations to all of you. So, let's start today's class. We will start our class with a small game. Are you ready to play? Yes. So, let's play together. The game is tongue twister. I hope you have already played it before, right? So, I will tell you a tongue twister. You have to pause the video and then repeat the tongue twister 3 times very fastly. Okay. So, here comes the tongue twister. The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. I will tell you once more. The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. Now, it is a famous tongue twister taken from My Fair Lady, written by George Bernard Shaw. Now, pause the video and repeat the tongue twister 3 times. Let's see who all can do that successfully. Very good. All of you have done it. I hope you have enjoyed our small game. Now, it says the rain in Spain. Of course, we were also talking about rain, right? What was the name of the poem that we were discussing in the last classes? Yes, Song of the Rain. Correct. Now, who is the person who wrote the Song of Rain? Who is the poet? Yes, very good. Khalil Gibran, the Lebanese poet. He is the one who wrote the poem Song of the Rain. I am happy that all of you are able to remember this. Now, in this poem, we have already discussed. Rain herself is telling her story in the form of a what? A form of a poem or song. That is why the poem is titled Song of the Rain. So we have discussed a few stanzas of the poem Song of the Rain in our previous classes, and now let's try to know more about the poem Song of the Rain.
Song of the Rain by Khalil Gibran. The voice of thunder declares my arrival. The rainbow announces my departure. I am like earthly life, which begins at the feet of the mad elements and ends under the upraised wings of death. You have listened to the poem, right? Now let's try to find out more about the poem. What was the sound that you heard just before? Can you identify? What was the sound? Very good. It was the sound of thunder and lightning, right? So in this poem, the poet says that the voice of thunder declares my arrival. The rain, we have already learned, rain is telling her story herself in the form of a song. Rain says that it is the voice of thunder that declares, that announces the arrival of rain. It is true, right? The deafening voice of the thunder, it announces the arrival of rain on earth. Just like in olden days, the king's arrival was heralded by the beating of drums. Thunder announces the arrival of rain. The rainbow announces my departure, while thunder announces the arrival of rain. Who announces the departure of the rain? Very good, a rainbow. While raining ends, we can see rainbow, right? So that is why the poet says, rainbow announces the departure, the end of rain. It's a very beautiful comparison, right? The thunder is announcing the arrival, while rainbow is announcing the departure or the end of rain. I am like earthly life, which begins at. I am, that is rain is. Rain says that she is like earthly life. She is connected to the earthly life, which begins at where? Let's see. The feet of the mad elements and ends. Now, what is the feet of the mad elements means? Just think about the origin of rain. Okay, how does the rain originate? Rain originates due to the natural elements. You all know the water vapor from the sea or ocean gets evaporated and it gets condensed in the clouds and then it rains. That is what the poet is talking about. The natural elements. The natural elements, they are mad. That is why it rains. Rain originates from the feet of the natural elements or the mad elements and ends where? It begins at the feet of the mad elements and ends under the upraised wings of death. Upraised wings of death. It refers to the clouds. When it rains, the raindrops will meet their end on this earth, right? Rain, it falls from the clouds. The raindrops, when it reaches the earth or soil, it gets destroyed or it dies. That is what the poet says. In another sense, Khalil Gibran is talking about the cycle of life and death, the temporary nature of life. That is what it says through rain, which begins at the feet of mad elements and get distracted once it reaches the earth under the upraised wings of death. So we have learned about the poem, and now let's do a small activity. It's going to be an interesting activity to you. You can see there are two poems given in column A and column B. Okay, first let us read the poem that is given in column A, shall we? It is the poem A Red, Red Rose by Robert Burns. Here goes the poem. Oh, my love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. Oh, my love is like the melody that's sweetly played in tune. Beautiful poem, right? Now moving on to the poem that is given in column B. It is called Hope is the Thing with Feathers, written by Emily Dickinson. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. So we have listened to two small poems, one by Robert Burns and another by Emily Dickinson. Now can anyone tell me what could be the speciality about the poem by Robert Burns? Is talking about love. Very good. You are correct. The poet is talking about love. And the love is compared to what? Yes, a red, red rose and melody. That is sweet melody. Right. So you have identified the comparisons very correctly. Now let me ask you a question. What is the poem 2 about? The poem written by Emily Dickinson is about hope. Now there, hope is compared to what? Very good, feathers that perches in the souls. Correct. Now, Robert Burns used some words which kind of repeats in the poem to compare love to red rose and sweet melody, which is absent in poem B. Can you identify which are the words that are used to compare? Yes, very good. In poem 1, he uses the words like, right? Oh, my love is like a red, red rose. Oh, my love is like the melody. These kinds of words are absent in poem 2. There he says, hope is the thing, sings the tune. The word like is not given there. Now, as you might have guessed, we were talking about two forms of comparisons that are poetic devices you have already learned while we write a poem. Now, can you name the poetic devices? Anyone? Just pause the video and tell me which are the poetic devices that are used here in poem A and poem B. Can you? Very good. The first one, it is a simile. Right. And what could be the name of the second one? Second poetic device used for comparison? Yes, it is metaphor. Let's try to know more about them. Okay. So the first one, it is simile, as you have guessed correctly. What is a simile? It is a comparison of two things by using the words like or as. Just as in the poem it is said, my love is like a red, red rose. My love is like a sweet melody, right? So, such kind of words, when we use them for comparison, we get the poetic device simile. An example is given. I am as tall as a giraffe. Can you tell me any other examples for simile? Can you? Let's find out more examples. Okay. I am as quick as a cheetah. As, the word as is used there. My eyes are as blue as the ocean. Again, as. My ears can hear like a rabbit. Like. My brain is as smart as a scientist. As. My nose can smell like a bear. Why is this sentence a simile? Very good, because it has used the word like. My heart is as big as an elephant. Again, as. So, to compare, if we use the words like, as, etc., then we get the poetic device simile. Now, we talked about another poetic device too. What was it? Very good. It was metaphor. Now, what is a metaphor? A comparison in which one thing is said to be the another. In simple words, in metaphor, we can't find the words like, as, etc. The comparison is made directly. My mom is a teddy bear is an example of metaphor. Now, how can we convert this sentence to a simile? Can you do that? Very good. My mom is like a teddy bear. When we use the word like, it gets converted to a simile. I'm happy that you are understanding the concepts very clearly. Let's look into some of the examples of metaphors. The sun was a gleaming pearl. Right. Now, can you convert it into a simile? The sun was like a gleaming pearl. Very good. My baby brother is cute little teddy bear. How will we convert this metaphor into a simile? My baby brother is like a cute little teddy bear. Next example. My sister's memory is a camera that remembers everything we see. If we add the word like before the word camera, we will get a simile. Now, the car seat is a fluffy cloud, another example of metaphor. Now, custard is happiness in a ball, again another example of metaphor. So, now we have learned about simile and metaphors, right? So, let's do a small activity related to that. I hope you will enjoy doing that activity.
So, we have learned about simile and metaphor, right? I hope the concepts of simile and metaphor, they are familiar to you now. So, let's do a small activity, right? Please take page number 76 of your textbook, and after going through the poem, can you please tell me which are the similes and the metaphors that are listed in the poem? Can you do that? Just pause the video, go through the poem, and then tell me which are the similes and metaphors that are given in the poem. So let's start doing that. I hope you have completed your task. Now let's discuss which are the similes. Can you tell me an example of simile that is given in the poem Song of the Rain? Yes, very good. I am like earthly life. It is an example of simile, right? Now, why is that an example of simile? Because it has the word like. I am like earthly life. That is why it is given as an example of simile. Very good. Now, find out some examples of metaphors. Can you tell me which are the examples of metaphors given in the poem? Yes, I am dotted silver threads. Very good, you are correct. I am beautiful pearls. Again, you have got the answer correctly. One more metaphor is there. Can you guess? Yes, I am the messenger of mercy. Very good. So all of you have got the concepts of simile and metaphor right. And we have identified the similes and metaphors in the poem. Now, these comparisons, they make the poem sound more beautiful, right? Don't you think so? Yes. Now, let's do a small homework. That is a homework for the next class. Okay. What you have to do is, you have to write your own simile and metaphor. Comparing what? Rain. You have to write your own similes and metaphors related to rain. I hope it will be an interesting homework to all of you. Will you do that? Just write 2 or 3 lines comparing rain. You have to write simile and metaphors both, okay, in your own words. Just imagine while you see the rain, what are the things that comes to your mind, and then write simile and metaphors. While writing simile, just use the phrases like, as, etc. I hope you will do that and come for the next class. So we are winding up today's class. I hope all the concepts that we learned, they are clear to you. And if you have any doubts, please contact your teacher and clear your doubts. We will meet in the next class and we will be continuing the poem Song of the Rain. Till then, stay at your home, stay safe, stay healthy and happy. We will see in the next class. Okay, till then, bye.